Hello, my beautiful people, and let's take a tisane all together and seep a good amount of energy in. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm a bit in my office in a more cozy environment. I'm sitting on the floor, grounding myself to talk about this topic that I have researched for quite a long time, experientially speaking, which is the topic of frequencies and music. I love this topic. It's been such a long time that I want to talk about it, but before I wanted to test this frequency in myself, and I did for a year actually, and I want to share with you guys the results. But before, let's talk briefly about the introduction of this topic, which is to use frequencies and music in order to heal our body and produce some really powerful transformations. Hello, my guys out there. So you probably have already heard this topic. I didn't check if other people have talked about it on the web. Probably they did, but I don't know if there is an actual video about the power of these frequencies. We know in the spiritual community, it's been out there for a while that binaural frequency at a certain type of frequency can be really helpful for our body. And most of the music that it's been made mainstream out there is on a level of frequency that actually lowers our vibration. This is common knowledge in the spiritual community, but still there is a bit of confusion to what type of frequency you should listen to. How does it exactly work? How is it even related to numerology and to numbers? And in this video, in a very simple yet straightforward way, I want to cover this topic. So we know for a fact that the universe at large is composed by vibration and frequencies. It is in fact Nikola Tesla himself that has said these words: if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And I couldn't agree more with Nikola Tesla with this sentence. But actually, the knowledge of the secrets of the universe through frequency, vibration, and music was well known through ancient times. In fact, we do see the ancient Egyptians already knew about this, and I'm going to explain you why in a second. Or even in ancient India, they knew about the power of mantras and the sound. I explain in my e-course, Co-Creating Your Reality, even how to chant properly the Om, and how chanting the Om on a day-to-day basis has improved drastically not only my vibration and my health, but also my manifestation techniques. And the reason is because the universe and the language of the universe is composed by numbers. If you want to understand how the universe talks to us, definitely, if you are into science, you know exactly how the universe works, or you're very close to that, because the universe uses numbers in terms of language. That's why when we're seeing a lot of synchronicities through the numbers, we're truly cracking the matrix. But numbers also compose what? Well, music, because music is also the language of the universe. And if you think about a tune or one of your favorite songs, it doesn't really matter the lyrics even sometimes, or if you do understand what the artist wanted to conceive with those lyrics, or you do understand even the language. Music is truly a universal language because it does something on a vibrational level, and it speaks through our emotion. It touches our emotion. And like magic, with some music, we can feel irrational and violent and drawn to do some, heavy things. And with some other music, we feel absolutely uplifted. That is because the universe, like Tesla liked to mention, and he was actually obsessed with this concept, speaks through vibration. In the spiritual community, we do understand the concept of vibration. In fact, there are thousands of videos about how to raise your vibration, But sometimes in a society where we are constantly bombarded by information, we kind of overlook about the importance of the tone of voice in which people are speaking, and even the music that is played in the background, or the music that we hear on advertisement, or even on Spotify. Now, music is really important, and in this video I want to break the frequency of the solfeggio that I think you should listen to and will improve your existence largely. And I will also share my personal experience with these frequencies and tell you what were the results with this. But now let's talk about the number one frequency, that it's the basic of all of this, that actually is the frequency of the universe. 432 Hertz is the frequency of the universe, and it's a pure frequency of mathematical love. In fact, this is why I recorded my entire EP or album, Nea, We Are the Creator, under the frequency of 432 Hertz. Nikola Tesla, and not only him, in fact, was obsessed with this sort of frequency that is composed with the number 3.6 and number 9. Number 9, in fact, in numerology is the last number, and it is always connected, whether you have it as a soul urge number, as an expression number, or as a life path number. Is considered the last life, is considered the philosophic number, or the number connected to God as well, or to source energy. These numbers, in fact, were even found in the ancient temple of Egypt and in the pyramid of Giza even, because here is the thing, I talk thoroughly about ancient Egyptian deities and their legends on my Patreon, the link is down below, but ancient Egyptian priestesses especially were so deeply connected to music. If you ever have entered a museum where like mummies of ancient priestess, you always see in the hieroglyphs she had a beautiful voice. She was chanting, because the high priestess in ancient Egypt had an item, which I don't remember the name, I'm probably going to show over here on the video. They had this item where they knew how to play this instrument, and they were singing all the time and connecting with music in order to channel energy from spirit. And where do we find this also? We find this in mantras. We find this in ancient India as well, where still nowadays the priests are chanting particular mantras in Sanskrit that produce a certain type of vibration, therefore sound, that should affect the listener or the person that is involved in the rite. And most of the time these mantras and this music are made at 432 Hertz. This is also called, in fact, 432 Hertz is also known as the Vedas a frequency of pure mathematical love, and it's a superior tuning that makes music easier to listen and more pleasant. It makes you more harmonious, and it is connected to the energy of the earth at large. But here's the catch. After ancient times, and after Tesla being so obsessed with these frequencies, and mind you that obviously science has not developed this particular topic further, because it is still considered nowadays pseudoscience, which is such a pity, because I think that there is so much truth to it. In the 1800s, there was a constant debate over Europe to whether or not we should establish a common frequency for music, and the frequency in fact was changed, and it kept shifting from 417 to 470. I am reading my notes because honestly it is a bit, of a tricky topic and mathematical, but it is in 1935 with the Rockefeller Foundation that they started to adopt what we know today as the mainstream frequency for music, which is 440 Hertz. But 440 Hertz is actually considered the frequency of part of war consciousness, and it is in fact being studied as a frequency also by the Nazis, if I am correct, also called as the Satan stone or Luciferian frequencies. A lot of the music that we listen nowadays is made with this frequency of 440 Hertz. In fact, we have noticed, especially if you look at the interviews of some artists, or if you look at the interviews that are done by the creator of virtual reality, where he's saying that in a peaceful society, once you bring social media in, like in a peaceful village in Africa or something like that, and certain music is started to be played in their head on a day-to-day basis, violence and attacks start happening. Now, obviously, like I said, this is pseudoscience, so it's not 100% scientifically proven, but I feel that there is truth behind this 400 430 hertz frequency. So many people, when I was doing a live on Instagram, they started to say, but how do I discern whether or not a frequency is in 440 or 435? Well, you can't really, because nobody has an ear where you can measure your frequency and the frequency that you're listening to. Probably if you post, like, probably there's a calculator online that does that, but honestly, how can you discern? You can discern though in the way these frequencies are making you feel. When you're listening to a song nowadays or to a piece of music, you really have to tune in into your own intuition and understand what sort of thoughts and feelings this music or even this content is producing. And why in the beginning of the video I was talking about, well, even the tone of voice that you're using might emanate a specific frequency. Because we, as human beings, we function as an instrument, and because of this reason, we do emanate frequencies ourselves that are connected to 430 hertz, 430 hertz, and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, calculating the frequency of your own body can be quite difficult, but you can bet that if you can read your aura, or if you are an intuitive or working on meditation, you have a sort of awareness of how you feel, and therefore, when people are saying raising your vibration, you can bet that your frequency is being raising up, and it's very positive and harmonic also for other people. But every time that you're keeping yourself with this lower programming that society has been done, or feeding yourself with too much junk information or content that is bringing you down, your frequency, it's not only lowering on a spiritual level, but this is the type of energy that you are emanating for the collective, to the point or even causing yourself some sort of disease. Many people in the spiritual community attributes diseases or manifestation or feelings of sickness within their body through the chakra system, but it's much more complicated than that. The chakra are only a part of our body. There are the nadis, which are other points of vibration within our bodies that are so important to us as well, and also our mind and our emotions and thoughts do produce this frequency. So we have to approach spirituality and the way we see our body and manifestation in a more holistic way, so we understand that if we function exactly the same as an instrument, how do we want to play this instrument? Do we want to play this instrument for the collective in dissonance, or do we want to be in harmony with the universe? And these frequencies can help us out, raising our vibration and being in harmony with the universe. I'm going to give you another very, very simple example of how it works and how this is so real for us. If our bodies function as an instrument, when we are in a room of people that are not like-minded soul like us, they have a frequency that is very low with no judgment to them, but they might be unconsciously still in this program of lower vibration and negativity that society programs us to be. Most likely, you're not going to find yourself in resonance with these people, because literally your own body instrument is in dissonance, in musical dissonance to these people, because you are emanating this vibration, this music, your tone of voice, the way you're speaking, your emotion, your vibration, and they are emanating something else. So it's like saying having a guitar that is super tuned with the universe, it's tuned in, right? And have another guitar that it's completely tuned in another frequency, it's not tuned at all. They are not gonna sound good if they play together. This happens in what? Relationships. We can see that very, very strongly. And most of the time, if you are entering a frequency that is not matching this higher vibration that you have worked on, you will have feelings of being drained, of anger. And for those of you out there who are empath, most of the time, you will probably feel this energy and not understanding why you're feeling so low. That's because your own frequency is interfering with someone else that is being played differently than you. So I want to talk about the basic solfeggio frequency in this video that are going to help you out. And I promise you guys that if you are going to use these frequencies on a day-to-day basis, also for meditation, and we're going to cover their meanings in a second, you are going to see, especially if you do it for a week or two, you're going to see a dramatic improvement in your energy and a dramatic improvement in your life. These solfeggio frequencies, they were the basic notes of Gregorian chants in Christianity, right? So in fact, is chanting one of the most powerful way to raise your vibration, because like I said, your body does function like an instrument, and the ancient Indians, the Vedas, they knew about this. That's why they have created chants like the Om to literally convey certain outcomes outside and within their bodies. The Om is a frequency that can be used also to heal the body, and is chanted also by Buddhist monk in a choir in order to improve the health of a person that they are working on. There are mantras and chants that are even kept secrets because they are so powerful in vibration that they can truly affect the outside circumstances. So, and at the end of the day, isn't praying and meditation a form of chant and a form of vibration itself? Yes, it is. So we're going to cover the most important ones because I feel, like I said, that not a lot of people know these solfeggio frequencies. I'm going to give you my example because this is something, this entire laws of frequencies is something that I found through my experience, like I said at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to tell you the story. Let's sip some tea. So one day I was going to India and I was really excited to go to India. It was my first time in India, and unfortunately I caught a fever. That was way before the pandemic, so don't worry about it. But I caught this fever and I was so disappointed because obviously I wanted to go to India and be nice and enjoying my time. So I didn't know what to do apart from taking medication. And mind you, that listening to these frequencies doesn't mean that you have to avoid medication or not going to the doctor. Absolutely not. But I feel that if you implement this frequency, you can boost your level of health. So I was going to India, and apart from taking medication and paracetamol, I didn't know really what to do about my fever. And I didn't even know why I had the fever in and of itself. Could have been a cold, who knows. So I went anyway on the plane. Like I said, it was way before the pandemic, so there wasn't this virus going on. So just, you know, guys, I'm not that irresponsible. So I went anyway on the plane, and I started researching while I was in the airport about meditations or way to improve my cold and my flu so I could arrive to India healed, right? And I started with meditation, but here's the thing with meditation. Meditation requires a strength and an energy. And when you are feeling sick, you don't have the strength or the energy to meditate. Therefore, these frequencies can really help you out and hit you on a subconscious level. So I tried the meditation, but I was way too tired to do it. So it didn't really work that effectively because I wasn't there present with my consciousness. Yet again, I was too tired. So while I was scrolling down all the information that I was finding at the airport, I ended up finding this frequency. And this is the 741 Hertz. And you said that it helped improve solutions and self-expression, but also healing from viruses like the cold or the flu. So I started listening to one in particular that I really liked, that I found on YouTube for free, and I started listening for the entire trip, 741 Hertz, and I fell asleep. I kid you not, guys, by the end of the flight, which was a really long flight, I listened throughout the flight. It was a 13-hour flight, so a really long one, okay? I downloaded the frequency, so I had all the time in the world to listen to it. At the end, when I landed in India, my fever was gone. Was it due to the paracetamol? Was it due to the frequency? We'll never know scientifically, but I think that the combination of resting, meditation, and this frequency has boosted my healing. So I tested a couple of other times, and I kid you not, guys, every single time that I had a flu, my companion had a flu, my family had a flu, I literally said, please do it for me, do it for this experiment, listen to this frequency. Yes, take paracetamol, go to the doctor, do everything that is required that you will normally do, such as water, resting, eating properly, for sure, 100%. But while you're resting, please do me a favor, listen to this frequency. And I kid you not, every single person that has listened to this 741 hertz frequency has healed way faster than without listening to the frequency. There were times where I couldn't listen to this frequency and I just chanted the immediately felt better. You just have to know, when you're chanting though, you have to know how to move energy, and I explained this in my e-course, Co-Creating Your Reality. So by understanding the frequency of 741 hertz, I realized the importance that this frequency have. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist whatsoever, but let's take a I started to think there might be some truth to the fact that why then we do listen on a day-to-day basis on a 440 hertz frequency that is considered the war consciousness, and we are constantly arguing with each other. There is constant hate on social media, and life has been hard before the spiritual awakening. I'm gonna leave that question out there because I don't like to feed conspiracy theory, but there is some truth to everything, let me tell you this. So by understanding the 741 hertz, I started researching more about this frequency. If you guys follow me on Naya Visions, you know that in the first year of my channel as a channeler and a tarot reader, I have been suffering from heavy headaches and draining. I felt very, very drained after readings, and I couldn't realize why I was suffering so much from these headaches. Up until the point where on the second year of my channel, I realized I am doing something wrong over here. So I started praying a lot more before doing the readings, which is yet again another form, not only raising your vibration, but emanate this frequency. I light a candle to the Mother Mary. I have chanted, the I went more deeply. I always do yoga before doing a reading, and I started listening to the 963 hertz frequency. Why is that? Remember what I said at the beginning of the video? 9, it is considered the number of God in numerology, and in fact the frequency of 963 hertz creates room for oneness and unity, and it is known as the frequency of the gods. And when I started listening, especially previously from my private readings, I started listening to this frequency to meditate upon the reading that I had to do. The headaches completely disappeared, and also by chanting the afterwards the reading. So there is some sort of truth to these frequencies. Then I also want to present you other frequencies such as the 417 frequency does facilitate change. So for instance, if you are in a period of your life where you need to make some transformation or change and you want to be helped out by the universe, listening to binaural frequencies or even by music that is made of 417 hertz can help you out with this transformation. 285 hertz instead heals tissues and organs. So for example, if you have been breaking your legs or you need to heal from tissues or anything as such, you might want to consider using the 285 hertz frequency. Then we also have 396 hertz frequency that, according to where I'm reading this information, liberates you from fear and guilt. So this could be 396 hertz frequency, could be really good when you're doing shadow work or when you have to liberate yourself from some karmic patterns. I'm gonna share a very famous one now, 528 hertz can transform and do DNA repair. This is super common on meditation. You can find it anywhere online. I see it multiple times. I did it, but still I do prefer the 963 hertz frequency, which is the frequency of the gods, especially when it comes down to meditation. If you need to heal or reconnect with some relationship in your life, 639 hertz, I'm going to write it down in the info box down below. below, so don't worry about it. But 639 Hertz reconnects with relationship and helps you out with any sort of reconciliation. Then again, 741 is the one that I used for any sort of infections. And it's amazing, let me tell you this. And 852 Hertz brings you back to spiritual order in moments of chaos. Now, I feel that until you will try to use this music for healing, you won't understand their effects. But I feel that if you are a beginner, you don't know how to do meditation properly, you don't know how to enter the point of stillness, you are a beginner in the spiritual journey, or if you are an advanced practitioner but you have never used this frequency, I highly suggest you to adopt them in your day-to-day life and see after 2 weeks the difference in your emotion, in your thoughts, and in your vibration at large, because it's going to make a massive difference for you. And my opinion that maybe on my Patreon I'm going to do my morning routine or something like that is to know how you use the social media and know how to use this music that you're listening to. You wake up in the morning, the first thing that you want to do, it's not look at the phone, you guys. Don't sleep with the phone next to your head or even in your room. Put it in airplane mode and leave it in another room. You wake up in the morning, if you have a TV that is connected to the internet, go on that and listen to the 963 Hertz to wake up in the morning, so you can have immediate devotion and connection to the gods or to source energy. And you will see that if you won't look at the phone as the first thing in the morning and you will listen to this frequency, a list for 1 or 2 weeks, I want you back in the comment section over here and tell me the difference and tell me how you feel, because I know for a fact that you will feel better. You will have more uplifting thoughts. If you have some challenges in your life, you will come up with the creative solutions. You will manifest so much better and your health will drastically improve. As a morning routine, if you can implement some hatha yoga or some yoga, even 15 minutes a day in your life, you're good to go. Like, you're good to go. Your level of vibration, it's going to rise. Now, obviously, we are left, after my study of these frequencies, we are left with the question of how much horrible frequencies and music society is being feeding us in this matrix. I highly suggest you, after watching this video, not to feed any conspiracy theories, to stay grounded, but to really check how you feel after you listen to some sort of music and to implement the interest in these frequencies, because there isn't as much, in my opinion, and there isn't as much research. And to remember in your mind that you are a musical instrument. Your body does function as an incredible, supremely intelligent machine and as a musical instrument. So what is the music that you want to play with your vibration? What is the music that you want to play with your voice? How you are addressing words and thoughts to yourself and to others. I hear, especially since I did TikTok in Italian, I hear so many people, the only thing that they scream is hate, judgment, criticism, and like, it's almost like they're typing and they're screaming. Imagine how they are playing their instrument. And mind you, it doesn't even matter how much bully or how much hate they are given to another person. Imagine their internal life. What is going on? Okay, so I know that we hear a lot the word raising your vibration, but how and what a more better and beautiful way to raise your vibration by not only being aware of your emotion and your own spiritual journey, by being aware of the music that you are creating with your own musical instrument, that is your body. Because remember, the body is the temple of the gods. And even though we do live in an illusionary world for so many factors, we have to respect this illusion. We have to respect our body and be grateful of this gift that is life, and use it to expand, grow, and evolve this existing reality. And even Confucius used to say, if one should desire to know whether a kingdom is well governed, if its morals are good or bad, the quality of its music will furnish the answer. And if you are interested about the frequency of the universe, like I said, you find my album Neya with the Creator on Spotify or any digital platform out there. That particular EP is being recorded with the frequency of the universe, and a frequency that will allow you not only to enter meditation more smoothly, but to have feeling of peace, harmony, and unity with Source and with the universe at large. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Let me know in the comment section down below if you did, and if you want more content, thumbs up to support this video so it can get up on the algorithm and we can share with more individuals and beautiful people out there the power of. And I hope you appreciate my story. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, and I see you guys later in another of my videos.